I shall do.
Did I ever put that last ability on there? Oh, they salt's the last one. Yay, win, leveled up. Don't worry, refugees. I got you. Get the mage. Go for the goddamn mage. That mage is the most important one.
I shall do it.
Okay, taunt. Go for the mage. Enemy affected by status.
Here.
Here.
Begin.
Rejuve on Morgan.
Begin the onslaught. Watch out!
Get out of there, you idiots. Don't stand in it. Win. Let's try to keep the refugees alive because they're dumbasses and they're going to end up getting themselves killed.
As you like.
Okay, Morgan, please attack that guy.
Order. Let's end this.
Your order. We must fight. Let us do it quickly.
Okay, get him down. We do have a mod that makes archers way better than the base game. Don't worry.
We have done well.
We have done well. $4 gold. Ooh.
It shall be done.
We managed to save some refugees, thank goodness. At least
begun.
one of them.
It has begun.
Acidic coating.
Oh, thank you, Maker. Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. Wait a minute. You said maker.
Very well.
He didn't do anything with that. I did.
Oh, thank you, Maker. Oh, thank you, Maker. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And rescue the refugees. Support the success of the Chantry Board.
Thank you.
Hell yeah. Well, that's not fair if people do stuff in real life and then everyone credits it to the maker who had nothing to do with it. That's some bullshit. What a scam. No, the human did it. Hideout of a band of mercenaries. Did that one already. Civil War. Out of Sacred Ashes. Hiding in the Royal Palace of Orzammar. Maleficarum. Oh, we should try to get some side quests from people. We gotta keep talking until we get them to be like, "Hey, I'll take a side quest."
What's on your mind?
Is there something we can do to cure you?
Cure me? What, am I sick now?
I guess death isn't an illness, is it?
Even you know that you cannot cure the dead. And I'm not the only one dying. You are too. I'm just more efficient about it. Ah, child. Your concern is heartwarming. But death comes to everyone, and it is not something to fear.
You're not afraid?
People fear not death, but having life taken from them. Many waste the life given to them, occupying themselves with things that do not matter. When the end comes, they say they did not have time enough to spend with loved ones, to fulfill dreams, to go on adventures they only talked about. But why should you fear death if you are happy with the life you have led? If you can look back on everything and say, yes, I am content. It is enough.
But I'm not content, I'm Dan. I think it depends on the person you are.
Ah, human nature. You are right. Some people will never be content and will always want more. I think I've led a good life, a full life, and I, for one, am not afraid of death, whatever it may bring. They say that when you die, your spirit travels through the fade and returns to the Maker. And after that, we'll see, won't we? What's on your mind?
Do you have any regrets at all?
I try not to dwell too much on the mistakes of my past, of which there are many. I would go quite mad if I did that. But I do have one regret. The greatest misstep of my life, made even more grave because it had dire consequences for someone else.
What did you do?
Years ago, I was assigned as mentor to a lad, Anarin. He was my first apprentice. Anarin was an elf, raised in one of the elven alienages, and he was very mistrustful of humans, especially humans in authority.
Humans like you?
I was his mentor, an authority figure. He can't have liked me very much. What Anarin needed was time. Time to get used to his new home, time to emerge from his shell, so we could build a rapport. I gave him no such time. I was young and arrogant. He is a mage, I thought. He needs to grow up and act like one. I expected too much from him too quickly. I gave no consideration to his origin or his feelings, and he retreated further from me. All I could think of was how stubborn he was, how he was throwing away all his talent and his potential just to be difficult.
Was he talented?
Oh, very much so. Sometimes I would catch him practicing on his own, but if I asked him to show me what he could do, he would freeze up or fumble terribly. You cannot plant crops in the cold, wintry ground. You cannot teach a student who is closed off and unresponsive. Patience is what is needed, and I learned that too late to help him.
What happened to Anirin?
Anirin ran away from the circle one night. I had berated him over some trivial, ridiculous matter that I no longer remember. I drove him away because of something utterly unimportant. He was a child, 14 at the time of his leaving. They had his phylactery, and they hunted him down.
What's a phylactery?
The phylactery is a vial of blood taken from a mage. But blood is connected to life, and your blood can be used to track you down. They called him Maleficar, a mage who practices forbidden magic, deserving of death. He was a child, misunderstood and lost. I begged the Templars to tell me if he suffered, if they gave him a quick death. I got no answers from them. I was his mentor, and they wouldn't even tell me what became of him.
It's not your fault, Wynn.
I should have known better. I had the best mentors. They were kind, compassionate. Why didn't I learn from them? I failed Anirin. All I had to do was listen to him. He would try to talk to me, and I would tell him to concentrate on his spells. He talked about the alienage sometimes, and the Dalish. He always talked about looking for the Dalish elves.
I could go for some Danish. Maybe he did find the Dalish.
The Templars are well trained and thorough. That he still lives, it would be a vain hope. The apprentices that came after Anirin benefited greatly from the lessons I learned from him. In a sense, he was my teacher, and I his student.
Then maybe his sacrifice was worthwhile.
And there it is. My story, my one greatest regret.
Ooh, a quest for Wynn. Ooh. Side quest. Help Wynn find closure. That's actually in the elf area.
What's on your mind?
My skull.
It is no trouble.
Oh, hello. Is there something you wanted to talk about?
I'd like to talk about what happened today.
It's nothing. I'm fine. I'm just thinking.
What about?
I can't get what happened out of my head. I'd been in Lothering for years, and she still thought I was plotting against her. She didn't trust me. Maybe she never did. She loved me when she could use me and control me. And now that she can't, she wants me dead. It hurts to realize that I never really knew her.
Sometimes people surprise you.
I knew she was ruthless, but I didn't know how far she could go. She is self-serving, cruel. She uses people, then discards them. But that's how she survives in the life she leads. What if she's right? What if we're the same? I should just have stayed in the Chantry.
But you said the Maker wanted you to leave.
I could have been wrong about the Maker. I know you doubt me sometimes. Maybe you're right. Maybe I just tell myself he's there to console myself, to know there's someone watching out for me, to know I'm not alone.
Don't lose your faith now.
Maybe I never found faith. I just pretended to because I knew the Chantry would hide me. I forgot my life as a bard while I was in the cloister. I felt safe. I didn't have to watch my back all the time. That's what made Marjolaine the person she is, don't you see? It ruined her. It will ruin me too. Even now, I feel some regret at not ending her life in order to protect my own.
That mistake can always be rectified later.
I know. And I've thought about pursuing her and I'd take great delight in this thought. What we're doing. What we've done. Hunted men down. Killed them. Part of me loves it. It invigorates me, and this scares me. I feel myself slipping.
Marjolaine chose who she became. So can you.
How can you be so sure?
You left the Chantry to help others. That means something.
Do you really think so? Hearing you say that gives me comfort. I would like to be alone for now. I have many things to consider. Thank you for listening to me.
Here I am.
Hello. Care to answer some questions?
Oh, this should be good. Go ahead.
Why did you want to leave the Crows exactly?
Well, now, I imagine that's a very fair question. Being an assassin, after all, is a living, at least as far as such things go. I was simply never given the opportunity to choose another way. So, if that choice presents itself, why should I not seize upon it?
You can make her more evil if you want, but I like her being good. She fits better with Wynn that way. So you didn't choose to join the Crows?
To be truthful, I didn't even know the Crows existed when I joined them. I was but a boy of 7 when I was purchased. For 3 sovereigns, I'm told. Which is a good price, considering I was all ribs and bone and didn't know the pommel of a dagger from the pointy end. The Crows buy all their assassins that way. Buy them young, raise them to know nothing else but murder. And if you do poorly in your training, you die.
And that system works?
Of course. You compete against your fellow assassins, and those who survive are rightfully proud of it. In Antiva, being a crow gets you respect. It gets you wealth. Gets you women. And men. Or whatever it is you might fancy. But that does not mean doing what is expected of you always. And it means being expendable. It's a cage, if a gilded cage. Pretty, but confining.
What is it you fancy, exactly?
I fancy many things. I fancy things that are beautiful, and things that are strong. I fancy things that are dangerous and exciting. Would you be offended if I said I fancied you?
But I'm a man.
Oh, you're speaking seriously, aren't you? I do forget that this is not Antiva City. We are a little more open-minded about such things where I hail from. Is this something that I should beg pardon for?
No, I was just surprised.
Pleasantly, I hope. As for what I'll do in the future, presuming that there is one, I truly can't imagine. It might be interesting to go into business for myself, for a change. Far away from Antiva, of course. For now, naturally, I go where you go.
Won't the Crows eventually find you?
Eventually can be a very, very long time if one plays one's cards right. Come now, enough chit-chat. Talking about the Crows summons them, you know. Any Antivan fishwife could tell you so.
Can you teach others to be an assassin?
Oh, I certainly could, but I won't. I swore to the Crows that the things they taught me were to remain a secret. And while, yes, they are already angry at me, I'd rather not push things, you see.
You don't think this is important?
You need to learn the arts of the crows in order to slay Darkspawn, do you? You seem to be doing fine as it is. If you are truly insistent, well, let me think about it. The crows are already angry at me, yes? Who knows?
Can I ask you something personal?
Oh, this should be good. What would you like to discuss?
Never mind.
All right, but I get to stare at you luridly while you do so.
Do you actually enjoy being an assassin?
And why not? There are many things to enjoy about being a crow in Antiva. You are respected, you are feared. The authorities go out of their way to overlook your trespasses. Even the rewards are nothing to turn your nose up at. As for the killing part, well, some people simply need assassinating. Or do you disagree?
This playthrough's going downwards. 2 days ago, checked in. You were kissing some dark-haired beauty. Yesterday, you tried an old lady. Today, a small elfie boy. I can go bang Morgan anytime I want. Morgan doesn't give a fuck. She just wants me to slay that twang. And then Zevran also doesn't give a fuck. He just wants to get it on with anyone. And Wynn doesn't do anyone. She's too old. She's just a nice lady. You never killed an innocent?
Now there's an interesting word, innocent. How many men do you know who can claim to be truly innocent? But if you're talking generalities, such as children and relatives and bystanders and such, never on purpose. But it happens. It's unfortunate, but death comes to us all. If not me, then some wasting disease, or a fall down the stairs, or at the hands of a darkspawn. It's all relative in the end.
I suppose that's true.
Death happens, as we like to say. And when I get paid for it, death happens more often. As far as enjoying the act of killing itself, why not? There is a certain artistry to the deed. The pleasure of sinking your blade into their flesh and knowing that their life is in your hands.
I know what you mean.
There are many things I did not enjoy about being a crow, of course. Having no choice, being treated as an expendable commodity, the rules. Oh, so many rules. But simply being an assassin, I like it just fine. I will continue to do it if I can, even if I am not a crow. Honestly, could you picture me doing something else?
Handsome elf like you, I could think of a few things.
I mean professionally. Or maybe you mean professionally as well. Perhaps you intend to peddle my services to bored Ferelden noblewomen. It is an interesting thought, but I've always removed my clothes strictly on an amateur basis. A talented amateur, of course, but an amateur nonetheless. Of course, all these thoughts are moot. Chances are still good that you and I will perish, eaten by darkspawn or slain by the crows at some point. Very gruesomely, I imagine. But it is pleasant enough to chat about. Come, let's move on while our boots still have some wear in them.
Do I have any gifts for you? Ogren. To Venter Imperium. Nope.
All right, but I get to stare at you luridly while you do so.
Tell me a little about Antiva.
Oh, you wish to know about Antiva, do you? The only way to truly appreciate it would be to go there. It is a warm place, not cold and harsh like this Ferelden. In Antiva it rains often, but the flowers are always in bloom. Or so the saying goes.
And it has assassins.
Every land has its assassins. Some are simply more open about their business than others. I hail from the glorious Antiva city, home to the royal palace. It is a glittering gem amidst the sand, my Antiva city. Do you come from someplace comparable?
I was born in Highever, in the north. I was royal family of House Kuzland, proprietor of Twitch.
Oh, I have never seen that place. I am sure it has its charms and its dogs. You know what is most odd? We speak of my homeland, and for all its wine and its dark-haired beauties and the lilo flutes of the minstrels, I miss the leather the most.
Is that some kind of euphemism?
It may as well be, but not this once, no. I mean the smell. For years, I lived in a tiny apartment near Antiva City's leather-making district, in a building where the crows stored their youngest recruits, packed in like crates. I grew accustomed to the stench, even though the humans complained of it constantly. To this day, the smell of fresh leather is what reminds me most of home more than anything else.
Is this game worth getting someone who's never played it? You've never played this game? System reboot. What the hell? Someone just said something that just shut me down. What happened? Someone's not played this game? You should definitely buy this game and play it. This game is awesome. And it still runs on modern PCs well. Yeah, it's one of the... It's the best RPG of 2000 to 2010. It's the best one in that range. For me. For my personal preference. Mass Effect 2 is also, like, really good. But in my opinion, it's one of the two best RPGs in that decade. Yeah, it's the Mass Effect and this game are like, it's like, depending on my mood for the day, like which one is better. And that's where Republic's up there too. And there's a link between all three of those games. Same company made them. And that company made Anthem. Remember that now. And Mass Effect Andromeda. So, the same company made those three masterpieces and those two pieces of shit. So, yeah. You sound like you've been away from home forever.
Oh, not so long, I know. It is my first time away from Antiva, however, and the thought of never returning makes me think of it constantly. Before I left, I was tempted to spend what little coin I possessed on leather boots I spotted in a store window. Finest Antivan leather. Perfect craftsmanship. Ah, but I was a fool to leave them. I thought, Zevran, you can buy them when you return as a reward for a job well done. More the fool I, no?
Your home is still there, Zevran.
True, and it's a comforting thought. One simply never knows what is to come next. How could I have suspected I would end up defeated by a handsome Grey Warden? A man who then spares my life? I could not.
Handsome.
Perhaps that was a poor choice of words. True, though it is. Do you object?
Not at all. It was just unexpected.
And glad I am to hear it. Now, if it is all the same to you, I would prefer not to speak more of Antiva. It makes me wistful and hungry for a proper meal.
I want to sheath my dagger, if you know what I mean.
All right, but I get to stare at you luridly while you do so.
Tell me about your adventures.
My adventures? I'm hardly an old man just returned from across the ocean, am I? Should I shake my fist at nearby children while I talk about the good old days?
Wow, that first comment's racist. One can never tell with you elves. You certainly talk like you had adventures.
Falling down a flight of stairs is an adventure. Falling into someone's bed, also an adventure. I am assuming what you're looking for are professional anecdotes. Let's see, my second mission ever for the Crows was a bit intriguing. I was sent to kill a mage who had been meddling in politics.
The Crows are willing to anger the Circle of Magi?
In Antiva, nobody is too important to escape the reach of the Crows. They've killed kings and queens. That is simply how it is. As it turned out, the mage in question was quite a delightful young woman. Long, divine legs, as I recall. I caught her in a carriage on her way to escape to the provinces. After I killed her guard, she got down on her hands and knees and begged for her life. Rather aptly, I might add. So I joined her in the carriage for the night and left the next morning.
After killing her anyhow?
Yes, but not on purpose, actually. The woman had actually convinced me to speak to the crows on her behalf. What can I say? I was young and foolish at the time. Then, as I was kissing her goodbye to return to Antiva City, she slipped on the threshold and fell backwards out of the carriage. Broke her neck. Shame, really, but at least it happened quickly.
So you didn't actually kill her?
Not actually, no. I was a bit unimpressed by the development at first. Then I found out that she had told the driver to take her to Janellen instead. She had planned to lose me in the provinces. I would have looked very foolish to the crows. As it was, my master was very impressed that I had done such a fine job of making it look like an accident. The Circle of Magi was unaware of foul play, and everyone was happier all around.
You got lucky.
I got stupid, in fact, and very lucky. It was after that when I learned that one needn't let a pretty face go to your head. Professionalism was key. That's my moral of the day, you see.
So you never mix business with pleasure?
Well, there is you. But I'll point out that you did have to capture me and tie me up first. Every rule has its exception. Now that I've mentioned tying me up in that context, do we have extra rope about?
Hello. Small gold bar, he likes that. I don't think I have his boots yet, but will eventually. Let's go. I gotta work on Zevran and get him higher as quick as possible.
You have excellent taste. I shall treasure it. Thank you.
Minor dexterity.
I've a question, if I may.
Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. I swore an oath to serve you, yes? And I understand the quest you're on, and this is all very fine and well. My question pertains to what you intend to do with me once this business is over with, as a point of curiosity.
If you have an audio bug where the audio sounds distorted and robotic, pause and unpause, it'll fix it. It's the Twitch audio bug on 1080p streams. Is this after I ravish you and pound your butt in celebration?
Of course it is afterwards. The ravishing part is a given. One simply assumes that once your Grey Warden business is finished, you would have no need of an assassin to follow you about. Am I wrong?
There's always a use or two for a handsome elf twink.
I'm sure I could come up with a few more if pressed. It is good to know what my options might be, but that is for another time. For now, we have much to do, yes?
Plus 14, damn. He really liked that one.
I could teach others, but not yourself. First, I would need someone who has training as a rogue. That is, unless you would care to spend the years it takes to gain the fundamentals. But if there should be such a person who desires this training, yes, by all means, send them to me. The crows are already furious, no? I shall enjoy tweaking their nose further.
Yay, we unlocked Assassin. I discussed something personal.
Again? I'm game.
Care to join me in my tent?
Oh, is there something in your tent that needs assassinating? That is my specialty, or so I'm told.
I just want to talk to you. In private.
Now this is intriguing. Whatever would we need such privacy to talk about? Tactics? Poison recipes? The Midsummer Dance?
wouldn't be private if we talked about it here.
Indeed it wouldn't. Oh, but I am so tired. If it's a simple talk, perhaps we can have it in the morning.
Be fine. Get in my tent. No more questions.
Why, yes, sir. I should warn you, however, that I have never been known to succumb to an interrogation. You may just have to beat it out of me. Creatively.
I'll see what I can do.
Truly? Then we could be in for a long night.
Got him. Oh, hello. Is this where I slept with Morgan? Yep, he's the bottom. I knew it.
See? I knew this would happen eventually. I should have warned you right from the moment you refused to kill me. It was inevitable.
Here, I thought I seduced you.
Oh, such subtlety in your seductive charms that I was not even aware of them. A work of art in motion, perhaps? So then, as the priestess so famously said to the handsome actor, what now?
How do I know this isn't part of your plan?
This is true. Seducing the assassination target is a sound tactical choice. Do you know there are poisons that I can ingest which would be harmless to me and yet be already killing you as we speak?
Is that a denial? I can't tell.
Are we not past this? I thought we were. Allow me to say this. I am no longer in the business of attempting to kill you. Not only would it gain me little at this point, it also happens to be incredibly hard. But even so, is it not a little late for such suspicions? The die is cast, so to speak, and cast rather well, I might add.
Does this change anything?
Why should anything change? Allow me to make it simple for you, my Grey Warden. What comes next is entirely up to you. I was raised to take my pleasures where they could be found, for they do not come very often. I shall ask nothing more of you than you are willing to give.
So easy come. Easy come, easy go.
One might look at it that way. Is this so terrible? At any rate, we should be on our way. A new day awaits us, or so the rumor goes.
Easy lover. Hey, Liliana.
Yes? Something you need?
Nothing.
At your service.
I discussed something private.
Well, we're in camp. Now's as good a time as any to talk, right?
How would you like to join me in my tent?
I can't. I'm not ready yet.
Aww. Alistair.
At your service. Well, we're in camp. Now's as good a time as any to talk, right?
I need to tell you how much I enjoy your company.
You know, I was just thinking the same thing. Given the circumstances, things could have been so much worse. I'm so grateful that you're you, instead of some other Grey Warden. That sounded better in my head. I just mean to say that I can't imagine having done this without you.
You're so goofy.
Yeah, just part of my charm.
What? No, what? Why did you get lose so much what? God damn it, you did not like that. I gotta buy him cheese. God damn it.
Something you need? I'm sure.
Let's see. Thoughtful gift. I made him mad. I gotta buy him some freaking gifts to help him.
Thank you. That's very nice.
There you go.
Here, look at this. Do you know what this is?
That's a rose.
I picked it in Lothering. I remember thinking, how could something so beautiful exist in a place with so much despair and ugliness? I probably should have left it alone, but I couldn't. The Darkspawn would come and their taint would just destroy it. So I've had it ever since.
That's a nice sentiment.
I thought that I might give it to you, actually. In a lot of ways, I think the same thing when I look at you.
Aww. Aww. Thank you, Alistair. That's a lovely thought.
I'm glad you like it. I was just thinking, here I am doing all this complaining, and you haven't exactly been having a good time of it yourself. You've had none of the good experience of being a Grey Warden since your joining. Not a word of thanks or congratulations. It's all been death and fighting and tragedy. I thought maybe I could say something. Tell you what a rare and wonderful thing you are to find amidst all this darkness.
I feel the same way about you.
I'm glad you like it. Now, if we could move right on past this awkward, embarrassing stage and get right to the steamy bits, I'd appreciate it.
Not a chance.
Oh? You're lost then. All the ladies go on and on about how suave I am. I don't know how you can resist me like you do. Oh look, is that a cloud? I expect rain.
He was joking. I got +6. He was joking. He likes to joke. What? I'm the Grey Warden. I have to slay taints. What? I've slayed Morgan's taint, Zephyr's taint, working on Alistair and Leliana. I gotta like keep, slaying taints.
Something you need? I'm sure either my boy or I can help you out.
Let me see.
I'm sure you'll be...
All right, now we're going to go do another main story thing. Now that we are all caught up and we've done some taint slaying. Kevin, I'm just playing a video game. Don't watch what I'm playing, all right?
If there's anything
Stop
I can do
watching.
for you,
I'm just
please
I'm
tell
just
me.
playing a game and
I'm
being
sure
immersed.
you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your...
I'm just playing a video game. You don't have to watch and see what I'm doing. It's my business.
Are you sure I can't...
Did I buy your backpack upgrade yet? No. Let's do that. Boom, 100 slots. If you hear moaning, it's just a zombie, I swear. I'm gonna run to the bathroom. We'll be back in a second. Okay. Bathroom done. I guess let's go do the elves.
Indeed.
Indeed. Yes.
Indeed.
Of all
course.
the...
Yes.
Indeed.
We'll go do the elves. I think that's the elvish place. I think the big tree is the elvish one.
Stop right there, outsider. The Dalish have camped in this spot. I suggest you go elsewhere, and quickly.
Actually, I've been looking for the Dalish.
I find that hard to believe. What business could we Dalish possibly have with a group like yours?
I will tell your leader, no one else.
Seeing as you are obviously no simple trespasser, I will leave it to the Keeper to decide the importance of your business. In the camp, I suggest you keep your hands to yourself, and remember that our arrows are still trained on you. Follow me.
Do you have to poop, Morgan? What the hell was that?
I see we have guests. Who are these strangers, Mithra? I have precious little patience and less time to spend on outsiders today.
I understand, but this one claims to have important business with our people.
I see. Tell me, stranger, what business could you possibly have with us? We have our own issues we must deal with, as you can see.
I come representing the Grey Wardens.
You might have simply said so to begin with. Masirinus, Mithra, you may return to your post.
Manuvinen, Keeper.
Now, allow me to introduce myself. I am Zathrian, the keeper of this clan, its guide and preserver of our ancient lore. And you are?
The Keeper? Does that mean you're in charge here?
I guide my fellow Dalish, and they follow my word out of respect. But I would still prefer to know with whom I am speaking.
My name is Dan. A pleasure to meet you.
Manners. From a Shemlin. Interesting. What might be your mission here? Have you come to spread news of the Blight? I had already sensed the corruption spreading in the south. The existence of the Blight is not news to me. I would have taken the clan north by now, had we the ability to move. Sadly, as you can see, we do not. I imagine you are here regarding the treaty we signed centuries ago. Unfortunately, we may not be able to live up to the promise we made. This will require some explanation.
Liar.
Please, follow me. The clan came to the Brazilian forest 1 month ago, as is our custom when we enter this part of Ferelden. We are always wary of the dangers in the forest, but we did not expect the werewolves would be lying in wait for us. They ambushed us, and though we drove the beasts back, much damage was done. Many of our warriors lie dying as we speak. Even with all our magic and healing skill, we will eventually be forced to slay our brethren to prevent them from becoming beasts. The Blight's evil must be stopped. But we are in no position to uphold our obligations. I am truly sorry.
There are actual werewolves in the forest?
There was a time in Ferelden's history when werebeasts roamed the lands in great numbers. Spirits possessed animals and turned them into horrific monsters. The humans warred against and destroyed these creatures. No doubt their tales of those days grow ever more inaccurate.
Flemeth tells tales of such a time. Packs of possessed wolves akin to abominations roaming the land. It was a terrible age, now long past.
The werebeasts are not all gone from this land, and the ones that stalk the Brazilian forests are proof of this.
Why did these beasts attack you?
They are savage and unrelenting. They need no reason to attack anyone. What is curious, however, is the ambush. We expect werewolves to be no more cunning than a rabid wolf. The ambush suggests a level of intelligence we've never seen before.
Maybe they aren't as unintelligent as you think.
I doubt that. The very curse that is in their blood fills them with an unreasoning rage that precludes any true thought.
Is there no way to help your men?
The affliction is a curse that runs rampant in their blood, bringing great agony and then ultimately either death or a transformation into something monstrous. The only thing that could help them must come from the source of the curse itself. And that would be no trivial task to retrieve.
Well, it just so happens I'm good at non-trivial tasks, also referred to as quests.
Within the Brazilian forest dwells a great wolf. We call him Witherfang. It was within him that the curse originated, and through his blood that it has been spread. If he is killed and his heart brought to me, perhaps I could destroy the curse. But this task has proven too dangerous for us. I sent some hunters into the forest a week ago, but they have not returned. I cannot risk any more of my clan.
Have you considered seeking help from the outside, Tuvok?
From whom? The Children of the Stone? The Shemlin? Do you truly think they have time to spare for us?
You said you could perhaps destroy the curse.
There is no guarantee that this will work, as I suspect. But it's the only hope we have left.
If I help you, what will you give me? Do you have any cheese Dalish?
We would assist with the blight, of course. And you would have our gratitude.
Your people could improve their attitude towards me.
This attitude has been burned into our souls after long years of slavery and oppression. It is not personal, but very well. I will remind my people of the danger you will undertake on our behalf.
I'll find this Witherfang for you.
I must warn you that more than werewolves lurk in the Brazilian forest. It has a history full of carnage and murder, you see. Where there is so much death, the veil separating the spirit realm from our own becomes thin, allowing spirits to possess things, living or dead. But if you can indeed help, then I wish you luck.
Well, me and my ladies have some questions for you.
Make them quick, if you please. I have much to do here. My apprentice Lanaya or Sayrel, the clan's storyteller, could provide you with answers just as easily.
How do I find Witherfang? Do you have any advice, Tuvok?
Watch for the white wolves. They are his eyes and ears in the forest.
Tell me more about this curse the hunters suffer from.
There is not much to say. It stemmed originally from Witherfang, but now any werewolf may infect someone with it.
So did all werewolves everywhere stem from Witherfang?
No. The ones from this forest, however, do.
So if a werewolf bites me, then I'll become infected?
It is possible, but not guaranteed. The only way to protect against the curse is not to be bitten.
How do you know if you've been infected by the curse?
You will know within a matter of days. You will begin to sweat and vomit, and most tellingly, your temper will become wild and uncontrollable.
God damn
If that
it!
happens to you, you should seek out Witherfang even more swiftly. Your mission at that point will be rather personal.
How did this curse start?
That is a long tale I do not have time to tell. Ask Sayrel about it if you wish.
I want to ask something else.
Go on then.
I should go.
I must return to caring for my people. Creator's speed on your way.
Why are you guys... For some reason, oh, they're like stuck in combat. That's why they're looking so weird.
I'm sorry, but I must attend to our ailing fallen.
Landmark tent. Colored inks. Arthas.
Andera Natish.
Or Athras.
I am Athras. I hope the others have not been too harsh in their treatment of you.
I don't mind. I understand.
That is very generous of you. Most would assume we are unkind as a rule, and that is not the case. Especially not to a Grey Warden. But we have lost much, and it is easy to forget simple niceties at such a time. I understand you will search for the wolves in the Brazilian forest. I would join you, but Zathrian has forbidden me.
You don't seem very happy about that.
None of us are happy about this situation, and I least of all. But I shouldn't speak too much about this, especially with an outsider. I am sure you have little interest in my problems.
No, please. I love to hear about problems. Because problems end up being experience and loot in the form of a quest.
It's odd to talk so freely with a stranger, but perhaps you can help me. My wife Delilah and I both fought the werewolves in the ambush. She was injured so gravely, the curse spread rapidly in her. Zathrian fought hard to ease her pain, but there was little he could do. And though he says that Delilah is dead, he will not let me see her body. I am beginning to believe she became a werewolf, and that it is being kept from me so I do not go chasing after her. If I could just know if Delilah is alive, or what happened to her, then I could be at peace.
I'm sorry, that's terrible.
Masiranas, thank you. The Keeper means well, but I must discover the truth for myself. If you are in the forest, perhaps you might come across her, alive or dead. Any news would be better than none. And in return, I would be happy to gift you an amulet made by our craftsman. It may fetch you some coin in the human lands.
God, some of those are... You can be such an asshole in this game. I'll see what I can do.
You are most kind.
I should go.
Please, should you come across my wife, return and tell me.
Some of these things are just like so cruel. Let's see. 2 level ups. Let's go with magic. And a little willpower for more mana. Let's do mass rejuvenation for... It's a good spell.
I am here.
Boom, 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 boom.